Dear CWI employees, CWI alumni, and all friends who have all joined us in celebrating the 75th anniversary of our institute. You have learned about the milestones of its history. CWI and its predecessor, het Mathematisch Centrum, have made significant contributions to the prosperity and well-being of Dutch society, and we might say, of the world. CWI research has contributed to the development of the internet as we know it today, to the security and privacy of our data, and to the effective use of scarce resources. Not in a direct way maybe, but under the hood as it were. As we developed the empirically valid models, we performed their intricate mathematical analysis and supported their deployment in society. This research approach has stimulated scientific developments within mathematics and computer science. To name a few: scientific computing, complexity theory, computational imaging, data management systems, statistics, stochastic processes, cryptology, quantum computing, and machine learning. When a human being has reached the age that she or he can look back on 75 years of living, there are not too many years to look ahead. Neither is that person expected to change perspective and character, although I know some who did. But when an institute like CWI looks forward, it does have something to aspire to. CWI rejuvenated in the course of time. By now, some 4 generations of researchers have contributed to the progress that has been made in mathematics and computer science, and indeed to the prosperity and well-being of our society. And we should strive for no less in the coming 25 years. Clearly, we should adhere to the highest possible scientific standard as determined by the peer groups we are part of. But it has become clear to me that our stakeholders, that is, our colleagues at other universities and institutes, and the organizations that grant us funding, expect more of us. They expect what is called a national role. We should service the Dutch community of mathematics and computer science. We should be more open to our environment. Should we see this as a threat? In my view, we should see this as an opportunity. An opportunity because of the great ideas that we are offered for free, the complementarity that leads to collaboration, and the impact to be expected when teaming up with problem owners in society. Problem owners that may lie awake at night because they do not know a solution to the problem they are faced with. Problem owners that bear responsibility for other people's well-being. What is this optimistic view about the national role of CWI based on? Well, it is based on my own experience. As a PhD student, I had the privilege to be trained by one of the best researchers in stochastic operations research, and for sure one of the best supervisors, Henk Tijms. With his learnings I received, I started my Alex in Wonderland journey at Philips Electronics in the role of an operations research consultant. I had never, ever had to dream up a problem. These problems were owned by a production manager, a plant manager, a marketing manager, or the head of ICT. And most of these problems were challenging, like improving the production yield of glass fiber production, finding the flaws in an information system that was supposed to improve the coordination between production and sales after 10 years of investment of time and money. And I had to support the design of the first flexible automation system at Philips. In most cases, I found that there was no scientific knowledge available in textbooks or journals to solve these problems. So I engineered solutions by extending existing models and exploiting the data available. And in some cases, the solutions were that generic that a scientific paper could be written and published. Based on all these experiences, returning to academia, I had my research agenda defined for the next 30 years. Nowadays, people call this the dot on the horizon. Does this mean that I foresaw all the steps I took in the last 30 years? Not at all. New topics popped up every time through interaction with my colleagues, researchers, but very much so by interaction with people from industry. The same dot on the horizon is still there, but in the meantime, I think I'm closer. And over all these years, I learned to appreciate the difficulties professionals cope with. Professionals who are naturally unaware of the mathematical difficulties underlying their problems. They work with rules of thumb. And then you come in as an operations research scientist who aims not only to understand, but also to model their operational processes, such as production, distribution. However, the scientist will find out that the decision problems involved are virtually impossible to model explicitly. Firstly, because most professionals must deal with uncertainties in the processes they design, execute, and control. And secondly, because professionals intervene. They intervene in these processes when deemed necessary, in ways that are contingent on the specificities of the situation. It made me respect these professionals. It made me listen to these professionals to extract their knowledge and intuition. And it made me look for models, mathematical models and perspectives that would be able to explain the reality of human-controlled processes in an empirically valid way. What does this all mean to the future of CWI? First of all, it means the need for an open mind. Not only an open mind towards other researchers, but also towards these professionals in the world beyond CWI and towards their knowledge in the application domains we developed the mathematical and computer science foundations for. These professionals provide us with the right directions, the right intuition, the ideas that come for free. Successful collaboration with industry and societal institutions implies mutual respect. Respect from scientists for professionals that must take decisions in ill-understood situations. Respect based on the recognition of the limitations of scientific knowledge in general and mathematics and computer science in particular. But we also hope for the respect from professionals for scientists. Professionals should be aware of the challenges faced by scientists to extend generic knowledge, as opposed to knowledge applicable to the professional's specific problem. There should be no gap between theory and practice. There's nothing more practical than a good theory, as chemical and electrical engineers will testify. Similarly, what is needed is respect between scientists of different backgrounds. We focus on research that exploits the synergies between mathematics and computer science. Within each of these disciplines, many different specializations exist. For effective collaboration, it is important to recognize each specific expertise. By knowing the limitations of your own expertise, you appreciate the contribution of another expert to the problem to be solved. Respect highlights complementarity and fosters collaboration. Furthermore, it is important for all of us to understand the difference between science, engineering, and profession. To get a real-life problem solved, we need all three. We need science for the foundations of the problem solution. Those foundations could lie anywhere, be it in algebraic geometry, number theory, differential equations, or probability theory. Typically, algorithms are the output of mathematics that are further refined by computer science. by developing the right data structures, the right storage and retrieval procedures, on the right hardware, using the right software. Here, we may already be in the engineering space, where we judge the algorithms implemented on functional specifications, such as speed, storage requirements, and energy usage. Eventually, algorithms are embedded in information systems to ensure up-to-date and correct information about the systems supported, and to support human decision-making. This is the phase where the professionals judge the effectiveness of the solution developed. At the beginning of my talk, I mentioned our stakeholders. 1 year ago, a survey of CWI and its environment, the Dutch field of mathematics and computer science, has been completed. A survey commissioned by NWO, our National Science Foundation. We are acting upon the advices given in the report provided. CWI continues its research on the mathematical and computer science foundations of societally relevant problems. And we have identified four focus areas: algorithms, data and intelligent systems, security and cryptography, and quantum computing. We expect that all 4 areas will contribute to the great challenges of the 21st century. And for that, we need creativity. Creativity comes in the form of science, technology, and societal norms and behaviors. To create effective solutions for problems such as transition from fossil fuels to renewable energy, to climate change, greying society, we need all resources from mathematics and computer science community to join forces. The Dutch Artificial Intelligence Coalition has joined forces in this area. The Quantum Delta program joins the forces of researchers creating the quantum computer in the foreseeable future and researchers creating the algorithms that exploit the specific capability of quantum computers. Another pivotal development is CWI contributing to the concerted efforts in the area of security, focused on secure data storage, secure data communication and sharing, and careful privacy protection protocols. Creativity is the key means to counter threats and to explore and seize opportunities. And as we know, creativity is fostered by diversity. CWI is a diverse institute in terms of the variety of computer scientists and mathematicians employed, in terms of the number of nationalities and the differences in cultural backgrounds that come with it. But we need to make further steps. And clearly we must improve our gender balance in the next 5 years. We need to find ways to attract talent to the Dutch community of mathematics and computer science from all continents. After all, Dutch society is a great place to work, a great place to raise a family, and a great place to experience culture. It is a society of happy people. And saying this, I'm well aware that right now, happiness is not the first emotion popping up with us celebrating this anniversary online in this corona pandemic, instead of a festive room where we can celebrate and see each other. But this very celebration of the 75th anniversary implies the strength and vitality of CWI and the people who are involved with CWI. So let us direct this vitality in the coming years to service the Dutch Society of Mathematics and Computer Science. Let us provide the scientific foundations for engineering solutions of major societal challenges. And I emphasize once again how important is the mutual respect for each other's expertise, whether we work with scientists, engineers, or professionals. In the coming month, we will be reaching out to our colleagues at universities to share our vision on CWI's role to our community. Together with our colleagues, we will shape the CWI vision for the coming years, exploiting the synergies where possible. The synergies between mathematics and computer science. the synergies between our research institute and other institutions, the synergies between scientists, engineers and professionals. So that in 25 years, CWI, with our partners, may mention, on looking back, that Dutch renewable energy systems are operated by our algorithms. The internet improved efficiency and security is based on our protocols. Robots and humans work jointly in plants based on the sensor applications we developed. And the quantum computer runs our software to develop new medicines. Thank you for your attention.